What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Peter Woods, defensive lineman from Clemson. He's 6'3", 310 pounds. Pretty good football IQ, actually. He's good about getting his hands up to deflect passes. I do like that. Plays a little bit high, which kind of sucks because the 6'3" frame could allow him to have some pretty good natural leverage, but he does play a little bit higher than I would like. Has a pretty decent cloth pull to him. I do like that. I do want to see him use his hands a little bit more. He looks really good when he is using his hands effectively. I just want to see him do it a little bit more consistent. Um, as it stands, he kind of ends up chest to chest with his opponent a lot more than I would like. He also tends to try to run down the middle of people more than I would like as well. And he's also not like overly powerful to really pull that off all the time. Pretty decent explosiveness for the position. Not a massive tool bag. Like I said, I did mention the cloth pull, but he does keep his eyes in the backfield. He's very patient. Plays a lot of one tech at Clemson, but I think he'd probably be better in an even front. Not necessarily as a zero. I don't think he has the strength to play zero, but more like a 4-eye, like a 3-4 defensive end type thing. I think would be pretty good for him. Very good motor, good hustle. Absolutely will run to the football. Not much of a pass rusher. Like I said, he doesn't really have the moves for that right now. He does have the explosiveness to get better with that. But he does maintain his gap very well. He stacks and sheds very well in the run game. Can sometimes get moved by double teams, which again is kind of why I don't really want him playing nose too much. If you are a 4-3 team, probably 3 tech, I would say. But probably more so on rundowns right now until he improves his pass rush moves. He will sometimes swipe the outside hand. Like I said, his hands actually do look good when he does use them. And like I said, he does have that cloth pull. Good contact balance, which is great. Has a swim move that is developing, but it's not quite there yet. Like I said, he can stack and shed. Very good effort. There's a lot to like here. There really is. I don't really like him too much as a nose. I think you in a 4-3 on passing downs, you might be able to get away putting him in at 1. I don't want him as a 0. I definitely don't. I think 4-eye is really where he would thrive. Um, like I said, he does very good at stacking and shedding. Um, he maintains his gap very well. I think he can absolutely 2 gap very well. Um, that's what I would do with him. And like I said, just get a little bit more consistent with the hands. Continue to develop that pass rushing tool bag, because right now I think this guy can come in as a run defender right now and play pretty good football. I have a late first round grade on him personally. So yeah, like I said, I think he can absolutely come in right now and play the run very effectively and kind of work on those pass rush moves as he goes along. So if someone is going to draft him at for him to be a nose, because like I said, he does play a lot of one tech now. He's probably going to need to get a little bit stronger, maybe put on a little bit of weight. But personally, that's not what I would want to do with him. Like I said, I think 4-eye, and if you are a 4-3 team, I'd put him at 3. If you are a 4-3 team that drafts him, but I really think 4-eye is probably the move. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.